Daniel chapter 3. Nebuchadnezzar the king caused to be made an image of gold, whose height was 60 cubits or 90 feet, and its breadth 6 cubits or 9 feet. He set it on the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the satraps, deputies, governors, and judges, and chief stargazers, treasurers, counselors, sheriffs, lawyers, and all the chief officials of the province to come to the dedication of the image which King Nebuchadnezzar had caused to be set up. Then the satraps and deputies and governors and judges and chief stargazers, the treasurers and lawyers, and all the chief officials of the province were gathered together for the dedication of the image that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up, and they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then the herald cried aloud, "You are commanded, O peoples, nations, and languages, that when you hear the sound of the horn, pipe, lyre, trigon, harp, dulcimer, bagpipes, and every kind of music, you are to fall down and worship the golden image that King Nebuchadnezzar has set up. Then whoever does not fall down and worship shall that very hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace." Therefore, when all the people heard the sound of the horn, pipe, lyre, trigon, dulcimer, or bagpipe, and every kind of music, all the peoples, nations, and languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Therefore, at that time, certain men of Chaldean descent came near and brought malicious accusations against the Jews. They said to King Nebuchadnezzar, "O king, live forever. You, O king, have made a decree that every man who hears the sound of the horn, pipe, lyre, trigon, harp, dulcimer, or bagpipe, and every kind of music shall fall down and worship the golden image, and that whosoever does not fall down and worship shall be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom you have appointed and set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, pay no attention to you. They do not serve your gods or worship the golden image which you have set up." Then Nebuchadnezzar, in rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and these men were brought before the king. Then Nebuchadnezzar said to them, "Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve any gods or worship did not serve my gods or worship the golden image which I have set up? Now if you are ready when you hear the sound of the horn, pipe, lyre, trigon, harp, dulcimer, or bagpipe, and every kind of music, to fall down and worship the image which I have made, very good. But if you do not worship, you shall be cast at once into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God who can deliver you out of my hands?" Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered the king, "O Nebuchadnezzar, it is not necessary for us to answer you on this point. If our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, he will deliver us out of your hand, O king. But if not, let it be known to you, O king, that we will not serve your gods or worship the golden image which you have set up." Then Nebuchadnezzar was full of fury, and his facial expression was changed to antagonism against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he commanded that the furnace should be heated 7 times hotter than... Hang on a second. Okay. Then Nebuchadnezzar was full of fury, and his facial expression was changed to antagonism against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he commanded them that the furnace should be heated 7 times hotter than it was usually heated, and he commanded the strongest men in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. And these 3 men were bound in their cloaks. their tunics or undergarments, their turbans, and other clothing, and they were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame and the sparks from the fire killed those men who handled Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound into the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king saw and was astounded, and he jumped up and said to his counselors, "Did we not cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire?" And they answered, "True, O king." And he answered, "Behold, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they're not hurt. And the form of the 4th is like a son of the gods." Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and said, "Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, you servants of the Most High God, come out and come here." Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out from the midst of the fire, and the satraps and deputies, governors, and king's counselors gathered around together and saw these men, that the fire had no power upon them, their bodies, nor was a hair of their head singed, neither were their garments scorched or changed in color or condition, nor had even the smell of smoke clung to them. Then Nebuchadnezzar said, "Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and delivered his servants who believed and trusted in him and relied on him." And they set aside the king's command and yielded their bodies rather than serve or worship and accept any god except their own God. Therefore I make a decree that any people, nation, and language that speaks anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses be made a dunghill. For there is there is no other God who can deliver this way. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon.